welcome to Rise of Tiamat number 30, the big 3-0. It's all downhill from here. Let me tell you, from personal experience, doesn't get any better.
Rude.
Your hip, you get this hip thing. You're like one of your knees will get like a little tweaky. Yeah, it's just nothing good happens. So, which is probably accurate to the campaign. The way things have been going lately. Fun fact, however, episode 30 of this show also marks 30,000 plus views on the Twitch channel, so that's cool. Which Twitch it's a weird metric on total views because I don't know how it factors in people who watch stuff offline. But anyway, so welcome. Let me throw out our sponsors here up front, which are Initiative Coffee Company. That's not how you spell coffee, Ted. There's two F's in coffee. There you go. And then Elderwood Academy, who are makers. Initiative Coffee Company, they make great coffee. Best coffee I've ever had. And Elderwood Academy makes some of the coolest gaming products. And if you haven't checked out Elderwood Academy's social media recently, I think it was their Instagram account, showed those really awesome, like, panning video of all the rainbow foil for Pride. Like, it's super cool. You should definitely check it out. And if you missed, I have contacted the winners of the giveaway, which ended last night. So check your email boxes, folks, because you may be the winner of copies of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But fear not, tomorrow is the launch of Acquisitions Incorporated, the book. So I'll be doing a giveaway of that as well. So just hang around. More fun stuff coming. But that's enough of logistics. Boy, oh boy, did we have a time last time. And I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to try to have Celeste talk about it from an iPad. Here we go. Take it away, Celeste.
Hello, everyone. Just want to apologize in advance that I am traveling, so I had to put together a Frankenstein's monster of Bluetooth devices to try and get here today. So if I'm a little robot-y, sorry, everybody. But last time on Rise of Tiamat, so we started out, we had just finished the meeting with the council. They had called us back here. We had turned over the blue dragon mask to them a little bit earlier, and they had just told us, oh no, it's a fake, sorry, gang. And we're all like, oh no, this really sucks. And then we sold the tower. And then after that, we're like, okay, well, what are we going to go do for like a night before they give us our next mission? So we're like, oh, okay, we'll go to a place in Waterdeep. Like, that'll be cool. Like, we'll have a good night. Everything will be fine. Right? Sure. So we go and we get this room in Waterdeep, and we're all eating pie, and it's fine. And then Roswen and Leo pull Odella aside, and they're like, hey, Odella, we're a little bit worried about you. Like, your magic's different. Maybe we should get it checked out. And Roswen's like, yeah, I know Miriam, who's this great lady at the Temple of Selune. Let's go. And Odella's like, yeah, I don't really want to. And Leo and was like, yeah, you should totally go and get that checked out, huh? And Odella's like, I don't really want to. And eventually, whatever, we get her to go, and we drag her ass to the steps of Salune's temple. And just as we're about to go in, all of a fucking sudden, Odella's like, boom, no, I'm out of here, bitch. And we're like, what just happened? As she dimension doored, like, out into Waterdeep, so like thousands of feet away. So we're all like, what the fuck? And so Leo's all pissed. So he gets on his lion and is like flying around trying to find Odella. And Roswen's like, IDK, man. And Rid's also like, I don't know what. So I think Rid went back to the room, and Roswen, I think, went to speak to Miriam a little bit more about like, what's up? Oh no, you went back to the room? Yeah. You went back to the room, whatever. And eventually, Leo finds Odella on the street, and they have this really dramatic conversation that I imagine was in the rain, though there wasn't actually rain, whatever.
There could be rain.
Yes, okay, then there was absolutely rain. And Leo's like, Odella, I don't understand. Like, I feel like you're hiding things from me. Nah, and Odella's like, I'm not hiding things from you. And Leo's like, that's a lie, and I can't do this anymore. I'm walking away. And she's like, no, don't. And he's like, I'm doing it. And then as he walks away, she casts Dominate Monster on him and is like, stay. And he's like, okay, like I'm your left slave now forever. And then she did some crazy shit with her dark evil patron who wears an Armani suit, and we all got like mind wiped or memory something, and so we all forgot that this all happened. It was just raced out of our brains. Oh yeah, and Odella lost like 20 pounds, so she's giving like her life force or whatever to this thing, which is crazy. So we reset time, right? And then the next day we all wake up and Leo's like, "Oh babe, like everything's great. I love our relationship. This is fine, not fucked up at all." And then Roswin's like, "Oh wait, Odella, no wait, I wanted to talk to you about something yesterday." And we all managed to not get Odella to go directly to the temple. So Rid, Odella, and Leo went for brunch, and then Roswin went to the temple and was like, "Miriam, what do I do? My friend is weird now." And Miriam's like, "Well, check it out." So Roswin and Miriam just met us for brunch, and then that's what happened.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So to paint any missing holes there, Roswin was having feelings of deja vu as though something had happened, and Miriam cured her modified memory and brought it back. So Roswin now knows the whole story. And Miriam was worried for Roswin and says, things are pretty light at the temple today. Would you like me to join you for brunch? And Roswin, of course, said, of course. So Miriam decided to join them. And that's where we left off. And Roswin, you did say, and Katie, remind me, you had like a really good line that we ended on where you like grabbed. Can you do that for us again to pull us back in?
Yeah, for sure. The one that merits inspiration. Yeah, I definitely grabbed onto Odella's hand, and I said, "I'm not letting go this time." As I was passing by her, supposedly to go to my chair, but not.
I'm so ready. My body's ready.
Sure, you can have inspiration. I'll give you that. That was good.
I never have good lines. I always go like, insert something cool here.
No, that was good. Warranted. Yeah. This is the scene. There's a little old lady, gray hair, weathered, wrinkled skin, slightly tan, kind of hunchbacked, as though someone who has kind of just slowly started to shrink and get lower and lower as she's gotten older and older. And none of you have met Miriam, so this is, I think, your first time meeting her. And she just will kind of go and she'll pull out the chair for Roswin to sit down. And then she'll sit next to Roswin at brunch.
Yeah, so Roswin is holding on to Odella's hand and just like looking her dead in the eye with like a very serious expression. Just the biggest frown on her face. And she just says, "The lying stops right now. I'm done. I don't know what you did to my mind. I don't know why you removed that moment. I don't know why you won't go to the temple. But I'm done. We told each other honesty was what we were going to have between us, and you lied. And you broke my trust." And I turned back to Miriam, and I'm like, "Miriam, if you would, to my other friends."
So I just want to point out that Leo and Remy, you both hear all of this and this conversation, and then Miriam will like adjust her her vestments And she'll say, all right. And she'll reach out and she'll grasp your hand gingerly, Leo.
Wait, what's going on? What are you talking about?
And then she'll grab your hand, Remy, and that's twice. Or at least you can see, Odella, the starting of the casting of a spell. I don't know if you wish to counterspell it.
Yeah, she's gonna counterspell it.
Okay. So
which I think is verbal, so she can't really do any sort of sleight of hand on that.
Let me just check. I think her spells.
90% sure it's verbal.
Yeah, counterspell is. I just want to see if her. Yeah, it's fine. So she starts to cast a spell on Leo. Leo, you see this divine magic spell being start to cast on you, and then Roswen, you and Miriam both see Odella counterspell that spell.
Leo is just looking like between all three of them, and then looking over at Remy and kind of looking back and just sort of like, what is?
What's happening? What's going on? I mean, you're more than welcome to invite your friend to brunch, but why is she just doing magic all of a sudden? You know why she's doing this. Stop pretending. It's done. I'm not mad because of whatever you're doing. I don't care. I trust you that it's for us, but I'm done with the lying. I honestly now let her cast remove curse on our friends.
What is happening right now?
Wait, we're cursed? Who put a curse on us?
What's going on? Is this because I wouldn't go to the temple this morning with you?
I just feel a little bit fuzzy, but I think that's probably the mimosa.
And Miriam's like, don't worry, dear. I can definitely help you with that. And she'll roll up her sleeves. Miriam will roll up the sleeves of her vestments, and you can see what looks like there's like some wrinkly skin, but some corded muscle on these forearms as she rolls up these sleeves.
Roswen looks at Odella and she's like, now stop using your magic because there are more important things than this that we have to attend to after brunch. I mean, I just don't know what's going on right now.
You could definitely see like a server was like bringing over more bellinis, and he's like, so Miriam will like look for the okay, and then she will touch Leo's hand again and attempt again to cast remove curse.
Odella's gonna counterspell it again.
When I see that or Odella stops, I want to like try and grab her hand. I'm like, if I'm cursed, I would like it to be broken. I mean, nobody has bothered to explain what's actually happening here, but that I can't believe. He's like, ma'am, I don't mean any offense, but I don't see you as a threat.
And she's like, that's fine. I prefer it that way.
Odella, if I'm cursed, I would like her to do something about it.
And she just kind of gives, as she's holding Leo's hand across the table as Odella counterspells this, she looks to Odella and just still has her hand on Leo's hand and just says, sweetie, I can do this all day.
Odella's just gonna glare at Miriam, and then she'll gesture to go ahead and sit in her chair.
So Miriam will use a third slot. We're now up into 4th level spells at this point. To cast remove curse, maybe.
Yeah, she'll let it happen.
At Leo. At which point Leo, as though a veil has been lifted from your mind, you now have full recollection of the night of before events of Odella teleporting, the conversation that led up to the going to the temple, teleporting away, you finding her in the rain in the middle of Waterdeep on your lion as she dropped the illusion, and you begging for answers and not getting them, and momentarily falling under the domination effect that you then was ended, and then you lost all of that time and remembered the next morning. And all of that now is back. That was all things that happened. And then she'll do the same thing on Remy, or try to. Odella.
Yeah, still
Okay,
there.
so same thing, although Remy's much less dramatic because it was mostly back in the room.
Slept.
Yeah, you remember sleeping, so like
Having the best sleep of your life.
Yeah, right.
Feeling a little under the weather. Don't worry about it. Fine, don't worry. Yeah, I think they just kind of blink a couple times and say, "Whoa."
I think Leo sits in a stunned silence, processing. He has been stunned into silence.
Impressive.
Whoa.
That's
And
not
then-
happened.
and then he just slowly kind of, why? He's just looking at Odella, and he looks just heartbroken.
I second that. Why are you lying to us and erasing our memory? Why won't you go to a good temple?
I don't have a good answer for you because I tried to tell Leo everything and he didn't believe me. So what's the point in saying anything now?
I mean, I know you and Leo have something special between you two, but he's not all of us. And you could have told me. I gave you so many opportunities to tell you, to have you come to me and just explain what's going on.
I think Leo is just listening to this, and then he stands up and he takes his stuff and he's like, I can't do this again. I'm not. I can't. And I think he's gonna leave. I don't think he can have this conversation again after remembering that. He needs some time.
So
Remy leans over and can they take Odella's hand? And they just say, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. And she'll look at Roswen. Are you happy? Are you happy now?
I didn't do this. You did.
Everything was fine. I was handling it.
It's not fine. What kind of healthy relationship can you have when you're just lying and removing people's memories like they're just your toys that you can bend when you want to?
You're the one who is pushing it.
Yeah, I'm pushing it because we told each other we would be honest with each other all the time. I sat there and I told you that if people love you, then they would deal with it. But the thing about it is you didn't give me the chance to do that.
I didn't lie to you.
You did lie to me. You didn't tell me everything.
That's not lying.
That's lying. If you thought that it would be relevant at all to something that would interest me about what's going on with you and what's happening with your magic when I ask you about what's happening with your magic, then that's lying.
I told you everything. I told you more than Leo.
I don't know that you did. How am I supposed to trust you?
That's what I said. What's the point in me saying anything if no one's gonna trust that I know?
Now I don't trust you now that you wiped my memory, Odella.
Apparently, you guys didn't trust me before.
No, now I don't trust you. Now I don't trust you. Because I don't trust the person who runs away from a good aligned temple. All I was doing before was trying to help you get through whatever you're going through because I saw some scary shit go down with you. That's what I was trying to do. I was worried for your health, for your soul, and you just ran away from any help I was trying to give you.
I tried to tell you why I didn't want to go.
No, you told me that you thought it was a fluke.
I'm sorry, your memory must not be completely all the way back because I told you that in the morning. I told you at night I didn't want to go because I didn't want to know the answer. But you pushed. And I hope you're happy because I think you're going to regret this. Can I go now?
You can go, but just know that we still have a responsibility to the world.
And she will walk away and towards wherever the council meeting is.
Okay. All right, so Odella walks out and leaves. Leo is gone. Now it's Remy, Miriam, and Roswen at brunch. And
She will pay on her way out, by the way.
Okay. All right.
She's not stiffing the people there.
Oh, that's the line, Odella? That's the line.
Odella.
She's got a financial reputation to uphold.
Rosman just like crosses her arms at the table and grabs one of the half-filled drinks and just throws it back. And she looks at Miriam. She's like, was I wrong? I don't feel like I was wrong. Maybe not delicate, but not wrong.
Miriam's like, there's a lot to unpack going on right now. She says, I'm very much on the periphery of all of this, but I trust your judgment. I've seen your progression in a very short period of time from, well, I don't want to say someone naive, but someone young and still learning the ways of the world and the ways of the teachings that we believe at the church. But you've grown immensely, and it's clearly both emotionally and psychologically present, as well as physically, in the powers and gifts that you've been given. That doesn't stand for nothing, but family can be difficult. Everyone knows that.
Oh, I know it.
I don't pretend to understand what she's going through. I can tell you that it doesn't seem like it's the best of influences, but you know, I'm not gonna make that judgment. That's not for me to make.
I just don't
I could give you my answer as someone of, as Miriam, you know, Silver Star Selene, what should be done to someone like this, but this is not, I feel our relationship has gone beyond that. And I'm not just the lady who runs the church.
I didn't know you were a Silver Star. That's really cool, Miriam. But what? I don't know. I just think that when you're part of a team, you have to be open about everything. You have to put everything on the table. And that's what I do all the time. They know how I'm feeling constantly. It's never a secret. There's never a decision that I make without first thinking like, I got to take care of them. I had that once. I don't have that anymore. And it's not something I want everyone else to go through, but I don't know. I just think that if she would stop pushing away and start trying to be more communicative with us, then things could change. But I'll be the bad guy because that's what she needs me to be right now.
She says, communication is the key to every relationship.
I read that in a magazine once.
Celeste fell over.
Come back.
And she's like, I mean, it's, read it where you will or learn it from experience, but it's true. Whether it be friends or family, adventuring parties or beyond, it's, if you don't communicate with one another, things are going to fall apart because they'll start, all it takes is someone to start second guessing someone once, And once you can spend years or decades building trust, but it only takes an instant to lose it.
Yeah, I just wish that as soon as she came back, she would have said everything, told us about whatever weird hinky magic she got herself into, and we could have dealt with it together. But it's too late now. We have to just work with what we've got.
And she says, well, if I'm going to think about it, I don't know her at all. I know she doesn't like divine magics cast over breakfast, which I get it, right? I mean, I didn't even want to go to church in the morning, and I get that too. But she says, it sounds like from what you've told me in our time together that you sort of fell into this magic in the path that you're in now, and the divine, way you've sought out for yourself and carved out for yourself. I don't want to say it was by happenstance, but it seems as though it wasn't something that was prescribed. You weren't planning on going down this path. It's just what happened over time. And nobody questioned anything, whether it was because they trusted your judgment, they didn't care, I don't know. But they didn't question it when your path of magic started to shift and change into this way. So, I mean, you seem to be pretty in tune to the emotions of your friends, so maybe that's what you noticed. She's taking a different path, which is arguably questionable, with her magics, but you're aware and you're trying to call it out. But again, I'm not trying to say what she's doing is right or wrong, although it seems like it's pretty wrong. But anyway, things are gray here. But people could have said the same thing about you. Do you really know what's going on? Do you know? Can you trust what you're doing? This force is granting you dreams and visions and powers. Do you really know? And it just so happened, thankfully so, I would say, would led to us meeting each other and where we are now, that it was a benevolent force doing it. But it doesn't, I mean, if it wouldn't be the first time someone has brought on the guise of something else to pretend to be something good. But it seems as though she knows what she's doing is questionable, in that she's taking measures to avoid things. So, I was hoping perhaps maybe it was what I'm doing is good. You guys just won't understand. But if you're purposefully avoiding things, I don't know. Again, I go back to what I said at the start. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought we had a different kind of relationship than we did. And maybe she thought the same thing. I don't know. But can't just sit there when I see just the things with her magic, her eyes rolling behind her head. That was scary for me, for her. And I just didn't, I don't know. I understand how somebody could turn to a way out when they need it, and it might not end up being the best thing. But I think that you should always look for a way out towards something lighter, if you will, even if you find yourself in that situation. But I don't know. I'm not her. I wasn't there. I just imagined that maybe when she got back, it would change and she'd go a different way again.
And she says, perhaps, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe she had no choice. I mean, maybe she did have a choice and this is the path that she chose. I can't fathom to understand what happened or what she's going through. Perhaps she was tricked into doing something she didn't know she was doing, and it you know, I thought she was doing one thing and it turned out to be something else. And now she's in too deep. But I really don't know. I've heard of things like this happening. It seems I've heard of instances of warlocks getting tricked into pacts with creatures they don't understand. Or, they thought they were in control of the situation and it came out wrong for them. I don't know if that's what's happening here. But I've heard sometimes, in some instances, they've used that to their advantage. They've been given this power by a creature of questionable origin, with the patrons plan to use them for devious means, and they're using it for against the patron's will for the forces of good. Again, that's like literally one that I know of in all of ever. But maybe she's two, or maybe she's just really, really messed up and she needs to go down. I don't know. You tell me.
No,
She says, I've got your back, whatever the case may be. And she cracks her knuckles. And then she'll pick up
Calm down, Miriam.
and then she reaches out and grabs a mimosa. And then she starts sipping on the mimosa.
Well, Roswen looks over at Remy.
Who's just been there this whole time.
Yeah, they've been listening and not really saying much and clutching their mimosa with both hands. And they've been, kind of staring at their drink quietly, not intruding. But they make eye contact when Roswen looks at them.
And she just is kind of like, sorry to ruin brunch. I don't know if I made the right choice, but it felt right at the time. So,
Roz, you're doing the best you can. I mean, we all are, and I don't know that Odella's best is my ideal best, but I get it, and honestly, I'd rather not be cursed, so thanks. And then Remy kind of takes Roswin's hands, like, are you doing okay?
I am gonna be fine. I am feeling a little bit of deja vu right now, not from memory loss, but from starting to see my sister go down a wrong path. And I'm not ready for that again so soon. But at least I know that me from the past hasn't visited me yet, saying that I gotta keep Odella in check. So it's hopefully not going to be the end of the world.
That's a start, at least.
This shit's weird, man.
Yeah. Remy's gonna give Roswin a hug and be like, you're gonna be fine. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And Remy will head to the bathroom, and a few minutes later, Rid will come back.
Hey, Red.
Hey.
Yeah. And Miriam's like, this is... all right.
Hey.
Hey.
Isn't her? She's got great hair.
Thanks.
That is some of the best hair I've seen.
Objectively, right?
Ever?
I mean, I've seen a lot of hair. Never one such as vibrant and polychromatic.
No, I think that's high praise coming from you. I mean, I think you're probably one of the coolest ladies I've met.
Well,
Yep.
no, thank you. But seriously, I can't.
That noise.
It's
It's natural.
That's I was gonna say, because that would be a lot of work to,
Yeah.
constantly be dyeing the roots.
Yeah. Glad I don't have to do that.
Wow.
Okay, so
Yeah, what's up?
on the way to the council, I don't even know how early it is or how late it is. Odella is going to be literally calling, not like out loud crazily, but like just kind of forcefully to Vetten.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
And like a I need to talk type situation.
Oh, here I thought you were gonna be yelling out for Leo in the
Nope.
streets.
Would run away.
Yeah, I know he would. But, okay. Yeah, so eventually you'll make your way to, like a dark, seedy alley in a spot of Waterdeep.
She's used to it by now.
Yeah, and then as sort of like coming out from the shadows of a wall, you know, the shadows will slowly take form in the form of Vetten. And again, and you can see he's there, still, hair perfect, white 3-piece suit, and he's like got like this pretty nasty looking dagger, and he's like cleaning under his fingernails with this pretty like vicious looking dagger. And he says, "Well, that didn't go so well, huh?"
No, it didn't.
Says your friend's pretty strong.
Annoyingly so.
Yeah. So, now what?
I don't know. But I do have one question.
Sure.
Since it's the one question that I can't answer every single time they ask me. What do you want?
And he smiles, a big toothy smile, unnaturally, like almost seemingly unnaturally white teeth. And he chuckles. He says, "Well," he says, I have my plans for you. You've done so much for me in such a short period of time, just doing what you've been doing. And I feel like it's no fun if I reveal everything now. Where's the fun in that? Besides, that's sort of the nature of our relationship. You ask me for power and abilities, I grant them for you, no questions asked, and when the time is right, I will ask something of you. But I'm here, we're here, we have fun. I let you do whatever you want. Things that the other guy wouldn't let you do, I give you twice as much leeway on all of these things. Because he's all stuck up and beholden to his rules. Rules are meant to be broken, clearly.
It has been a little bit more fun.
See, and he smiles, he sees that, and he says, This is what it's all about. You've got access to these powers, and you can do what you want, and who's to tell you not to? I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You seem like you're having a pretty good time using these powers. You know, I've seen what you've been doing. I saw what you did. I know. You seem like you've got a path you're working on, and I can be down with that. I mean, that is just a longer working relationship if things go the way you want it.
It's true. I guess it does benefit you quite a bit.
I mean, that normally, and he goes, people that are less ambitious than you, I'll be honest, they burn out pretty quick. But you seem like you've got a long-term plan. And I like someone with that kind of planning.
You flatter me.
And he says, of course I do.
I hate this so
Cringing. I'm literally cringing.
I'm curious.
Hmm.
I always imagined that at some point Valandris would come back.
Yes.
But he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
Did he really just not care? Or
I mean, I feel like he would have come back. You spent a long time down there with me before we ended up making our agreement. There was a long time where he could have came to provide you aid. You told me about your friend. Didn't come to aid them either. Perhaps things weren't going the way his golden child vision had went, so it wasn't important to him.
he probably found somebody else.
That's what I would guess, but who am I to understand the inklings and feelings of someone so divine?
I don't know what to do about Leo.
And he says, I mean, clearly you have some powers that you could use if you wish, but that doesn't seem like the kind of relationship that you want. And that's tedious, and that's...
No fun.
No, there's no fun there. Getting everything you want all the time, where's the fun in that? He says, I can't pretend to understand what he's thinking. Well, clearly, things didn't go... Seems like they went well, at least for one night, but not so much going forward. I don't know. If that's there's going to be a lot of building need to be done if that's a relationship that you want to pursue.
I just feel like I need him to see more of the gray area.
Well, I'm sure you've got a couple of ideas. I've given you a whole bunch of tools, and you've cultivated a few more of your own.
Maybe there's something else I can use.
And he says, I'll be watching. You let me know if there's something more specific that you need. And perhaps we can make something happen when the time is right.
She will smile. You're always there for me.
Always. And he will back into the smoke.
And she will continue on towards the council meeting.
Leo?
I am losing my shit.
Yeah.
Both Celeste and Leo are losing their shit right now.
I will ask, does Leo remember everything about, like, did he notice when
just because he was walking away.
Mm-hmm.
So just that it was cast, and perhaps now with all of this coming back, that the magic was of a slightly higher nature than you should be able to. What that means to him, I don't know. Leo has often said on multiple occasions that he doesn't really get magic, although that has changed a lot more recently as he's taken on more magic than physical fighting. So, perhaps, but no tells, if you will.
Okay, that's just curious.
Yeah. So, Leo, what have you been doing?
Okay. So at first I didn't know what, because I think it's just so many feelings. And one, Leo's never been through a breakup.
Yeah.
This is a breakup?
He's never been in a relationship. So he's never been through a breakup. So that's one phase of this. Two, he was manipulated and lied to with magic. So he's feeling really scared and doesn't quite know what to, so I think he's just going to walk around for a bit. And then I think he wants to beeline directly for it because I think the practicality and the fear is the first thing that comes up. So he's going to try and find Is there anywhere in Waterdeep you could go in a hurry to get like some mind shielding stuff or anything that would make you resistant to charms, or like anywhere he could go and like get that like right now?
Yeah, with relative ease, you can find your way into some sort of magical shop. There are several, depending on where you are. And these shops are not particularly catered to the mind shielding specifically, but things that you could come across in this quick traversal would be things like a ring of mind shielding, which is like a gold ring that has like, it's where the gemstone would be. It looks like a brain made out of like purple gems, and that would do the trick. And that would probably run you about 500 or so gold pieces, but that is an attunement based item, so you'd have to drop something you're attuned to currently, and this would be an always on thing. And that would give you the ability to shut out mental intrusions. It would also make you completely invisible to creatures that can sense your minds, like whether it be like a scrying spell or creatures that can use telepathy. You could become completely invisible to those. And that's an always on thing as long as you want it to be, but that would be an attunement, and that would be 500 gold, but that's a persistent thing. And they have like a handful, I'll roll a die if that's the route you want to go, like potions that kind of do the same thing. You drink the potion, quaff it, 24 hours of the same effect, but those run 100 gold a piece. And they have roughly 12 of those.
I think I will buy all 12.
Okay. So dock yourself 1,200 gold pieces.
Yeah, after that tower, fuck it. And Leo, please imagine as this is happening, and he's like, I need something to do, and he's explaining this to the counter person, and then he starts crying, and he like gets mad that he's crying, and is just like crying and trying to take the potions and trying to not cry and just getting really flustered.
And there's this halfling behind the counter, like, oh my god, what did I do? Oh my god, here's the potions. I don't know why you're crying. Why are you mad about it? I don't understand.
I just have allergies. It's fine.
And he's like, all right, 1,200 gold pieces then. Here's your potions. I hope things work out for you in the future. You seem like you're going through a lot.
Thank you. You have a nice shop.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.
I think he's gonna drink one like right away, like when he steps out of the shop, and like kind of, I don't know, put the bottle somewhere. He'll walk back into the store still crying and just be like, I just take this.
He's like, all right, okay, feel better, I guess.
So he has like this bag of potions now. And now he's crying.
It's like mango flavored, by the way.
Nice.
The potion.
And then I think, oh my god, what would he do with himself? I think that's where he's at. He's just holding this bag of potions in the middle of the street.
Crying. This big lion man just tears with an armful of potion bottles. See, I don't ask for fan art requests very often, but that's the one that I want to see.
I don't have any. I don't think we want to go back to the brunch place because Odella might be there. He definitely doesn't want to run into Odella. Does he have any way of like finding Roswen?
Roswen may be at the brunch place.
Okay, maybe I'll eventually like walk back to the brunch place, but I won't go.
You could send Wingman to scope out the brunch place.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be like, Wingman, buddy. I'm gonna pet his little nose. I'm gonna squeeze him a little bit too hard, and then balance the potions and be like, okay, go scope it out, buddy. Go let me know if Roswen's there, and as long as. Just make sure it's just Roswen, okay? All right, buddy, okay.
So yeah, we'll say that this conversation with Miriam and Rid has been going for a while. And like I assume there's also like periods of silence where like everyone's just eating. Like Miriam would just be like, "Yes, knowledge, wisdom. Ooh, pancakes." And she just like eats some pancakes.
Yeah, Roswin's just kind of like scowling at the table and looking back up at Red. And she eventually is just like, I mean, I'm glad to see you. Is there a reason that Remy left?
Remy has been through a lot. We all have. That's not to detract from what anyone else has experienced, but they didn't feel they were what Odella needed right now. And they didn't feel this is what they needed right now. Basically, we all felt that we'd be more comfortable if we're just me for a bit. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
And then Wingman will come back to you, Leo, and let you know that it's like it's not just Roswen, but there's no Odella. It's a very intelligent. You can communicate, so it's fine.
No, he looks into my eyes, and I know.
You do know.
Except for that mind shielding potion.
No, because it's pure love that's in our eyes, Odella.
That's true.
Got it.
That's true. Anyway,
okay.
yes.
So Leo will walk back to the brunch place with his bag of potions.
Broken Lion Man walks into the shop looking around for you guys, but like 11 potion bottles just awkwardly held against the breastplate, like just.
I think Roswin just kind of stands up and like, do you want help with your, what are those?
Yeah, that'd be good. And I've obviously been crying. Every once in a while, a loose tear, like.
She says nothing. She says nothing about the red eyes. And she just like kind of takes half of them and to like bring them to the table. And she's like, "Why'd you run away?"
I just had to go and get these because I figured, you know, I don't know, I just, and he like reaches out and like pours a mimosa. And he's like,
Rid was already pouring one for him.
She just kind of like, out of respect for him, just like kind of looks away, but like puts a hanky over by him.
You take allergies. Oh
yeah, they're a killer this time of year, man.
I figured we should get as many of those as possible. Those are help you with mind, magic, and I guess that's something we need to watch out for now. So,
yeah.
And he's gonna just fit down the rest of a mimosa and reach out for another one.
And she's gonna be like, "We have to go to the council today. That's number one importance. Don't get too drunk."
Okay. One. Okay, well, do we...
From Mom Della to Mom Win.
I don't know if I can... Miriam, is there anything you can do to help against demons, devils, any kind of...
Let me look at my spell list real quick. Hang on.
She takes out a scroll and her reading glasses.
Let me see.
he doesn't know what's happening, so he just wants to cover all his bases. He just doesn't want his mind screwed with. Like, that's his main thing right now.
She says, let me see what I have. Your friend made me use a bunch of my lower level spells today, which is fine, but it was not what I was anticipating. She says, well, I mean, if it comes down to it, I can banish them, but I have to be there for that. She says, I can...
Miriam?
And she chuckles. Well, it does seem like it would be fun, but I do have other...
in another life.
She says, I'd like to think that. She says, listen, if your battle comes to Waterdeep, I guarantee you I will be there. But I have my own flock that I need to care for. And she says, the best that I can do with what I have on me is I can ward you against death. That's the best I can do for now. Which is the thing I can do for the three of you. I don't have any problem doing that. And she says, I can pray for guidance. If you wish, which is, it seems like you guys could use some. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot to unpack. I feel like that's a theme.
A lot of prayers for guidance. And, I will take a death ward too, because that's a handy thing to have.
Alright, she will cast Death Ward on the three of you. So for the next 8 hours, if any of you go down to 0 hit points, you go to 1 instead.
Cool.
So Leo, Roswen, and Rid all have that.
I think Leo looks disappointed.
And he's like, easy there. Listen, when I woke up this morning, I thought I was going to be dealing with a slow day of people coming for confession, not whatever all this is.
Isn't it the more exciting day you've had?
It's just definitely, definitely one of the more exciting days before 10 a.m. I've had in a while, let me tell you.
The way I woke up this morning, I didn't think it.
She says, have another drink, Sonny. It'll be okay.
He does.
Let's see what Miriam's got. All right. Miriam says to you, Leo, since you seem the most shaken, if you will, by all of this.
Understandably so.
Understandably so. She says, you're asking for a pretty broad spectrum assistance. If you have something more specific that you'd like, maybe I can try to see if I can make something happen. You tell me.
Last night she was, I don't know, she cast this spell that she shouldn't have been able to cast, and she was dead, right? And so maybe there's a devil involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's all I can think of. If she doesn't have that holy creature anymore, then it's got to be something evil or something, and then she could control my mind. And I just didn't think. And so maybe she's possessed by something, or it's something. And he's just looking at her expectantly, like she's supposed to know what's going on.
She's like, all right, listen. Well, I can only speculate, as she's not here, and she wouldn't let me cast magics to heal the both of you, so I highly doubt she's gonna let me cast anything on her. So, there's very few things I can do without her physically being here in the first place. I could see if she's undead, were I to be where she's at. I could see if she's a fiend or a celestial. I could see if she's desecrated or consecrated, or things I can easily see, and there's nothing she can do to prevent that with any of her magic. But beyond that, there are other magics that can figure these things out, but this is, again, not something I was prepared for on a Tuesday morning. Like, she says, let me see. Hang on. And she'll grab a Selene holy symbol around her neck. Hold, please.
I just get summoned into the middle of this brunch.
No, I mean, she could do that. So, I will tell you, Celeste, that Miriam is praying to Selene with divine intervention, a cleric ability that when you ask upon your deity for assistance, they basically, if you make the roll, will do basically whatever you want. You beseech a god for their assistance when your need is great, and they basically carte blanche. What do you need? I got you. So, because it's Leo asking, normally you have to roll below your level on a percentile die, unless you're a 20th level cleric, and then it just happens. Miriam is a 17th level cleric, so it would have to be a 17 or lower. However, I rolled a 69 on percentile dice, so I'm going to let it happen.
Yeah. Oh, bless you, Leo. Bless you.
So...
Wait, are you going to convert now?
Leo is about 5 seconds away from going right now to become a paladin for like the next whatever amount of levels.
So she will, so yeah, give me something. I'm giving you divine intervention here. Like, I mean, in a things that have happened in the past, in instances. So divine intervention, I think one of the base things it says in the player's handbook is it can replicate up to, I think, a 9th level spell of any class. Or, you know, from any class list. You can have that effects happen. Or you can do things that are more ambiguous. Like, hey, we're going to go do this thing. Assist us in doing this thing. Hey, we need this thing. Give us this thing. So it may not be like, if you're like, hey, we need to find this tome, right? The deity may not be like, boom, here's the tome in front of you, but they may give you, someone stumbles into your employ and they're like, oh, hey, I know where that is. Or like, here's a spell that leads you, like a breadcrumb trail that leads you magically to where you need to go, kind of a thing. You know, one time I had to deal with this every week because Sean could roll under a 12, I don't know, 20 times in like 23 weeks. So I had to come up with divine intervention every other week. And like sometimes you'd be like, we're going to go fight this person, provide us assistance. And I came up with a way that they were assisted. So what do you want from Miriam beseeching Selene on your behalf? Don't worry, I'm not putting you on the spot or anything.
I mean, Leo wants a way to be able to fight whatever evil Odella is like wrapped up in right now. He wants a way to be able to harm it or destroy or stop it. That's what he wants.
Okay. We're never gonna finish this campaign. Okay. So Miriam I will, as the DM, provide you with a couple of potential options. Option 1, Miriam can use, through essentially the gate spell, summon this being into this brunch shop right now. And you can try and fight it.
I don't think that would be great.
Okay. We'll say Selene can read your mind that that's not exactly what you want.
Those poor brunch goers. They're just like, what?
Yeah, they've been like, there's definitely been some people who are like, oh, no, wait. Oh, it's like the best soap opera they've ever been a part of.
Absolutely absolutely be me if I was in there, by the way. Like IRL. Just
It's brunching a show right now. I mean, like, so you don't want you don't want to summon her patron physically to your location right now. Reasonable.
No, that does not seem like
a reasonable thing to not have happen, I would say. All right. So, she also could, let's see. She could give you potentially access to things that could contain it were you to get it into a place where you could, like, say, a magic circle equivalent, or even more crazy, an imprisonment equivalent spell on like a scroll or a thing. But you need to be in a place where it's there, and these spells usually take time to cast, like minutes to cast. But like, you know, trap this creature in eternal slumber, or, chain them to the ground, or trap them like a genie in a very, very tiny space for all of eternity. Things like that, but you need to have them present to be able to do that. Those are other things that you could do. Let's see here. What other things could Miriam provide to you?
if you want to think on it too, we can always say Selene's working on it, and then
that's fair. We can figure something.
Yeah, if you want to keep going on, or I think that's just what he wants. He wants a way to like combat this darkness. So whatever that means,
Okay.
I think Selene would know better, right? As an all-knowing god than Leo would.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
All right, we'll see what she comes up with. But you get the feeling, and we'll say that Miriam will, like, she's holding her holy symbol, and when, you can see the sort of silvery, like here in this fucking brunch shop, like right now, you feel, Roswen, you know this feeling. You felt this feeling. Although when Miriam, it's slightly different, right? Different strokes for different folks. But this silvery kind of energy surrounds Miriam, and there's a warmth, and almost like a tingling, like you feel like everything is warmer, but you kind of feel like your hair stand up on end, like as though there's a small electric charge surging through the area. And you can see that she's kind of starts to get washed out in this silver light, and then it subsides, and where she was holding her holy symbol, now in her other hand is an exact duplicate of that holy symbol, and she hands it to you, Leo, and she says, when you need it, this will provide the help that you need. Use it wisely. My lady is here for you, because my Roswen is one of the greatest people that I've met, and while I know she's gonna be there to protect all of you, she's just one person, and she puts her faith in her friends, and apparently my lady has seen fit to grant me this kind of guidance for you. So here.
And he like stops sniffling finally.
Suck it up, boy. No, I'm just kidding.
And he takes it in his hand and reverently, and like kind of clears his head, and thank you. This is a precious gift, and I suppose I've turned my back on faith for too long, and
it's not for like everybody, let me tell you.
Well, I don't know. Thank you.
And she says, use it wisely. Everybody gets one, Leo. Everybody gets one. Except for me and probably Roswen. But that's besides the point.
Thank you again. And I'm sorry for my behavior. It's been a long day.
She says, love, I get it. It's a crazy thing. Makes people do crazy things. Things they wouldn't normally do.
If we get out of all this, of course, I'd be happy to lend my assistance wherever I can, whatever I can do.
And she says, you've got enough to worry about right now. If you really decide that this is a path you want to go, don't make... I realize that there's emotions are running high at the moment, but I'm not going to hold you to any promises that you're making right now. You know, you may not be in the best headspace. I saw you walk in, a little discombobulated, if you will. But if when all of this is said and done, and you do still truly feel like that's a path you want to go, then we'll have a spot for you. But if not, you just keep doing what you're doing. It seems like you have a pretty good handle on what's good and what's right. And if that's the case, then I know that there's...
That specifically makes him cry a little bit again, because like he's like, I used to know.
Oh, Leo.
And she's just like, it'll be okay. I'll be around, but you keep doing what you're doing. And if you ever have questions, you don't need to come to me. You can go to her. And he points to Roswen.
I mean,
Leo like smiles and kind of like, okay, all right. Well, I think we have to go.
Well, I have one more thing. The rest of everybody's isn't ready yet, but I feel like maybe you need a present right now. I was saving it for later, for the holiday, but this is for you. And she like pulls out of her bag that she keeps, and she's hands you this wrapped scabbard, which when you unwrap it, it's a purple scabbard. That's the right word, right? You put the sword in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got this very intricately designed metalwork on the outside to look like belladonna flowers, and then on the other side there's like 3 little capsules. And she's like, so I had this made for you. So you put the poison in the scabbard, and then when you take your blade out, your first swing is covered in poison, like belladonnas, because we're poisonous and pretty. So that's your present.
He's like, Roswen, this is beautiful.
Wow.
I love this. He's gonna like smush you in a big ol' hug.
So you have that, and there's a vial of purple worm poison, drow poison, and wyvern poison.
Those are all things you can find. Yeah, those are all things you can find on D&D Beyond or in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
And she kind of looks over sheepishly at Red. She's like, yours is still being made, but I got you something too.
Oh, that's okay. I'm enjoying this and just kind of like, but thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Don't ask me because okay.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, okay, well, Miriam, I think that now we should drop you back off and say goodbye, because they're probably going to send us off to do something.
And
Hopefully Odella will meet us, but we'll see.
And she says, don't worry about me. I can make my way back just fine. But thank you for breakfast, and one hell of a morning. And she's like, and she like chuckles to herself a little bit.
Technically, Odella bought you breakfast, but you're welcome from us and our drama.
I mean, she didn't... Listen, I'm not saying I'm defending what she said, but she stopped to pay the man before she left.
I'm never
Maybe
gonna
she's
say
worked-
she's not classy.
I mean, maybe she worked in food service and like, got all this evil things going on, but
I don't.
not
pretend
gonna
to know
stiff
her.
the waiter.
Anyway, you won't let me take you back because you're a strong, independent woman. But I just wanted to spend a little bit more time with you. But if you've got this,
Oh well, if do you want to go back with Miriam? Just you
mean,
and Miriam?
no, we don't need to like RP it or anything. But
Well, there's something that I've been waiting to use, and she's been very hesitant to do so, given the whole situation. But if you want to go back with her, she'll be like, I know things have been crazy for you. But she says, would you... And she'll ask, because she's not sure how it is, because it's very fresh, quite literally. And she's like, but would you, before I leave and you go off to do what you do, would you like to fly one last time?
I'm gonna cry. Her eyes just kind of well up, and she's like, you know, I can turn into a bird, but it's different when I'm actually me.
So, because what Miriam will, when you're outside, Miriam will just start floating up off the ground.
What the fuck, Miriam?
And she will like hook under your arms if you want.
Don't let go, Jack, Miriam.
So since Miriam is a 17th level Tempest cleric, she can just fly whenever she's outside.
And she's so strong.
Just
Holds me like one of your French girls.
And she'll just you guys walk out, and just Miriam takes off and flies Roswen back to the temple.
I'll meet you there. It's weird when you're not in control. Please don't drop me. I've seen that happen to somebody.
Oh man! So you can fly around for a little while, and then maybe she'll just drop you off at the council and then fly back.
That's cool.
You guys can spend some quality Miriam Roswen time together.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes is just screaming because
Yeah,
it's totally weird when you're not doing what.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But yeah, no. So she gives her, if she drops her back off at the council place, she gives her a very long hug, and she's like, "Take care of yourself while I'm gone. I know that you're very capable." But if I come back and anything happens, I'm not going to be able to deal with that, Miriam. I'm just not going to be able to deal with that. So you be in one piece or else.
And she says, I'll be fine, don't worry. And then she just Superman flies away.
She's the coolest person I've ever
Well,
met.
now you know the sadness that Miriam has after you've built this whole relationship, that you two could never go flying together.
Shut up, Ted. You're a sick bastard.
Yeah, I know. I had that thought, so I had to say
There
something.
are so many ways. There are so many ways.
Yeah.
Don't.
That's fine. Anyway, you guys all make it to the council meeting.
Yeah, Rosalind just kind of lands down and her hair is all fucked up.
Yeah.
She's like,
Leo definitely took some time to like wash his face and get his shit together and like re-quaff because he knows Odella might be there. And he wants to look like hot and like he doesn't care.
Okay. Got it.
sure, as you
We're
do.
doing this all very quickly.
Yeah, this is an expedited breakup sequence. That I guess is actually a breakup, officially. Alright, so yeah, you guys all make it to the council
Yeah,
meeting.
don't shake your head. There was officially a breakup that happened.
So you guys make it to the council meeting, the three of you. And as you head inside, yeah, Odella is there.
Yeah,
And
she's sitting in her throne, looking hot as fuck.
What does the throne look like at the moment? Does it have
It's like, imagine like the Iron Throne, but instead of swords, it's all just like black obsidian.
Wow, you guys see that?
Well,
Yeah.
Roswen just kind of looks over at her and nods at her, and she's like, I'm glad you came.
Of course I came.
I'm like, you can
Leo.
definitely.
Leo has a bardic poker face and does nothing, barely glances at you.
You can definitely see like the rest of the council who's entrusted literally the best interests of the entire realm for over a year to this group of people who are having this weird tension standoff are like, the fuck happened since yesterday, but like,
Odella will get up and snap her, thrown away.
okay. And they're like, definitely see there's like some whisperings. Roswen, you definitely hear somebody be like, that's a power move. Like, someone whispering. You're not sure who says it, but someone definitely did.
And then she's just kind of like whispers to make it sound like it's coming from somewhere else. Weird flex, but okay.
So.
Yeah, she just walks and past and like addresses everyone and announces that they've arrived. All of them ready to go.
All right. So they will all bring you together, and they will tell you. This is just like kind of so Laurel Silverhand will speak kind of on behalf of the council, because she's sort of become the new head, and she will tell you that they had that messenger, right, that ran in, kind of passed out at the end right when you guys left yesterday. And let's see, I just want to make sure. Yeah, so she will tell you that things, our scouts and our forward scouts, one was able to return, and it seems as though Severin's plans are coming to a head sooner than we thought. We believe that the time to make the final assault on the Well of the Dragons is now. There's one specific piece of text that I want to just find. And they have there's a war table, basically out in front of everything. And you can see there are all these different little pieces on there, representing, and they will she'll gesture to that and she'll say, these represent our enemies, the enemies we know of, the various different factions. And then she'll gesture to the other side of the table. These are the assets that you have been able to gather in your diplomatic missions and through the efforts that you've made. So, you having dealt more than anyone else with both sides of the field, we would beseech you in this oncoming war, as we are going to be making this assault en masse with all of our forces, everyone we've been able to gather over time, against Severin and the cult forces at Strong, who we would like you to assign which forces to fight and where to go amongst all others. So they will again bring you over to that, but let's see. They will tell you that there has been a temple has risen from the ground at the Well of the Dragons. A temple we rightfully believe to be dedicated to Tiamat. We believe that is where the ritual is going to be happening to bring her forth into this plane. So, while we have a massive amount of forces that can assault and attack the front forces and push our way inside, we believe that our best bet to shut this down is to send a small tactical group inside behind enemy lines to infiltrate the temple and see if they can shut down the ritual before it can be completed, whether that be to retrieve the dragon masks, slay Severin, destroy the Red Wizards, whatever the case may be, that we would love for you to be that elite task force. We'll see who we can spare to send with you to bolster your numbers on this, but we do not want to exceed too many, as the cult's forces are many, and a small group will be easier to slip through and make this assault while we keep the bulk of the forces busy outside.
I'm gonna pause her for a second. Are all the council members there?
Yes.
I'm gonna look at her and say, what of the traitor? Did you find anything out about that?
And they kind of all look to each other, and she says, try as we might, we were not able to root out any specific person seemingly acting as a traitor, which at this point, with things seeming like they're making, we wish we could, but it seems like right now things are escalating to the point of no return and quickly, and we don't have time to dedicate more to destroying whoever may be this traitor.
Does everybody look like who they say they
are? Sure, you can make me an insight or perception or investigation, whatever you think.
Do insight. Actually, my investigation's higher. So that's 18 plus 8 is 26.
Yeah, looking around, no one jumps out specifically that seems... Like, you can definitely tell, like, had you not brought it up, they probably were just going to, like... That's a thing. It's a known thing now, but all of the forces and, you know, what messages have made it back, and the one spy who was able to return, that, like, it's, you know, it's time to go, basically. You know, we may have a traitor and this may come back to bite us in the ass, but if we don't, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do any of them look different to me now than before?
No, they all look the same.
Okay, I was just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Double eyes now?
I don't know. Also, Odella makes sure to stand weirdly close to Leo during this whole thing.
He moves away.
Good to know.
I'll go stand on the other side of Roswen.
They will tell you. Okay, so I will tell you guys that congratulations on the council scorecard in the back of the book. You guys received full marks and have the assistance of the Harpers, the Order of the Gauntlet, the Emerald Enclave, Lady Laurel Silverhand, Dagult Neverember, Conrad Bronanvil of the Dwarves, King Melindrak of the Elves, Older Ravengard, Terran Hornblade, and Sir Esteval. They are all on your side and backing you fully in this fight. So their resources are yours to allocate as you will.
Hell yeah.
So, they will give you, and I will provide you a list of the cult assets. And then I will provide you a list of your assets, and you tell me who you want to face who.
Okay.
Okay? Cult asset number 1. Severin himself, the leader of the Cult of the Dragon. Cult asset number 2. Rath Modar, the leader of the defunct group of the Red Wizards. They will tell you the remaining cult leaders, which is basically now you hear a reference of a... What the hell is his name? Captain, I want to say it's like Galvan, right? The Blue Dragon Worm Speaker. And they'll tell you of Talus the White, the reinstated White Dragon Worm Speaker.
Okay.
Wasn't that the one who was your bestie in the first one?
I wouldn't say bestie. We almost got killed because we were doing some tomfoolery that may or may not have involved pie. But we did work with her to screw up the other white, right? The other white worm speaker that took over for her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is Varum.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on with him right now.
Yeah. So the cult, the general like ground troops of the cult. So the cultist troops. Chromatic dragons. The devils that are on their side. The devils of Avernus. The giants. Evil mercenary bands that have signed on to aid in the cult of the dragon. The temple that I just mentioned to you, right? That there's another asset that they have. The remaining red wizards that are not Rathmodar himself. He's kind of a known figure, and then the rest of the red wizards as a whole. And the other asset they have is obviously the Mask of the Dragon Queen, which is currently with Severin. So, then they will list off your assets that you have. You have the backing of the Order of the Gauntlet. You have them, soldiers and ground troops, which is, the toughest, most steadfast soldiers on the Sword Coast. The Emerald Enclave, which are, they call by bringing an army of treants, griffins from the forest, and some good aligned lycanthropes, as well as druids and rangers. The Zentarum Assassins. Pretty much what you'd think. The Harper Agents. They're great at intercepting intelligence, can provide informations, and then they have archers, infantry, and spellcasters. You have the metallic dragons that you've acquired, basically the help of the metallic dragons that are on your side. Let's see, the Lord's Alliance Army. They are the second most powerful force other than the Order of the Gauntlets in fighting power. You have the members of the Arcane Brotherhood that you got from when you rescued Macath the Crimson from the north. Spellcasters, pretty much exclusively. Let's see, who else do we have? Let's see here. Do you guys have any of these?
What about the people from they or whatever the fuck, Fae?
Yeah, your red wizards. Yes, you do have a small group of Thayan soldiers on your side as well that will meet you there. Let's see. Is there anyone else of interest or anything of interest that you guys have on your side? You guys have a small group of other kind of adventurers that you've gotten to know over time, that you've assisted or worked with throughout that may be able to provide assistance in different forms as well. Call those rando adventurers. And let's see. I forgot to do this ahead of time, but no, I guess they weren't. I was trying to think back to the devils that talked to you, those bearded devils, Roswen, back in Diderius' temple, were like super chill with you.
Yeah, they were chill as fuck.
Can't remember exactly what they had said they were gonna do though. I think they were like, you can always just come hang out with us if you want.
Yeah. That
All
is
right.
what they had said.
Yeah, so that seems like pretty much it as far as your assets. So who are you going to pit against who? You can double people up if you want. You just tell me. That's going to alter the way this sort of final assault goes and how you're going to physically get there to do, if certain things aren't dealt with, you may encounter more of those in your final push.
I feel like dragons against dragons.
Yeah, I feel like nothing else is gonna fight dragons like dragons.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Order of the Gauntlet, they have a ton of like paladins and stuff too. So would they be really good at fighting devils, like devil legions?
Good
Yeah,
call.
that's not bad.
And get the Zentarum assassins to go after the two main guys, if possible, or the Severin at least, right?
Yeah.
Devils.
I also think that potentially they might be good against the wizards if they can get the drop on them because they have low hit points. They're squishy.
Okay, so you were sending the Zentarum where?
I don't know. What do you guys think? We need
And I'm
to
gonna
get
say
people-
for the
I think we should I think we should assign out the stuff that's like big groups against big groups first, and then see what we have left over for the small people, for like the singular people, not small people, but singular people.
Well, I think that don't they have more assets than we do?
yeah.
Yes.
So
And I'm gonna say for the ease of this, you can't split, right? You can't be like, we'll send half of the Zentarum agents here and half there, just because that's
Because we have
Well,
like
yeah.
cultist troops to deal with, evil mercenary bands, and giants, and the red wizards. So I think we should deal with those first and see what we have left.
Can I just interrupt everybody to say my mom just snuck in here and brought me a glass of champagne because she's the best mom.
yeah.
let's hear it for Celeste's mom.
Yeah.
We love a mom.
Mhm.
All right.
Who would be good against giants?
More
the
dragons.
What was that?
The Rangers and shit from the Emerald Enclave, probably the Ents and shit. I mean, sorry, Treants.
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Plus, if they have archers and stuff, then it'll be far away. Plus, lycanthropes can't be hurt by non-magical damage. So if they're just slamming them with a
That's good.
tree trunk or something,
That's
they're gonna be
good.
like,
So,
"Come at me, bro."
Emerald Enclave with the giants.
Okay.
Cultist troops.
Yeah, so-
The Lord's Alliance, maybe?
Works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's big army v big army.
Mm-hmm.
Where should the Harpers go? Because they're kind of like, meh.
I almost feel like almost put them in with the mercs and kind of like mind fuck them into just leaving, you know?
Yeah, that is
Because
a good idea.
They're just there for money. That's whatever.
Okay, I like it.
I like it too.
Okay.
So then we
What
have
do we have
the
left?
red wizards.
Right.
Should we pit red wizards against red wizards? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I'll kill each other off. That's fine.
And that's how nuclear war started. Didn't they say that they had like some special ability that they could just put an end to this? I forget what it was specifically they said they could do.
No, I think they were just like riled up to like
Oh, okay.
get them because they were like they're going against everything that we
tailgating.
want.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, nobody's going to angry fight them as hard as their own people who are mad they betrayed them.
That's true.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, you're not sure exactly how many you're gonna get from Faye. You're gonna get some, but how many, that depends.
Though I do kind of like Katie's idea of sending the assassins and Tarums after the Red Wizards. That would be awesome if they're like all of a sudden like, sorry, your throat slit, no magic today.
Also, no use of counter spell
Mm.
because they ain't no spells to be seen.
Okay, so assassins for the red wizards then.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we can send anybody against the temple. Because
I
aren't
think-
we doing that?
Yeah.
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 So who do we have on Severin?
So the three we have left are the Rando Adventurers, the Red Wizards of Thay, and the Arcane Brotherhood.
Who do we send the gauntlet to?
The devils.
The devil.
Oh, okay.
So
here,
how many do they have left that are still unopposed?
You guys-
Severin, Rathmodar, and the remaining cult leaders.
Oh,
So
I
we
should
should-
say that the cult leaders are also high-ranking wearers of the purple as well, not just the 2 worm speakers, but like
Oh,
everybody that's not like the dragon fang type people, like the low-level cultists you fight. So anyone that's slightly higher up.
well, can we also maybe assume that Severin is going to be in the temple where we're going?
It's probably a
I
reasonable
agree.
assumption, but
Well, maybe let's send the rando adventurers to go get the rando other cult leaders. So that sounds like some
How
miscellany
many
cross.
rando adventurers are there?
Yeah. What are we
let's see.
working with here?
Is it like 3 or is it like 15?
Like our level or like a big level?
Are they just like
Is
slaughter?
it Whistler and like
Yeah, I'm writing out the list right now, so I have it here.
Sharks party. Like, I don't know.
I'll take Whistler. He was pretty badass.
I have a group of 5 at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, only 5.
Listen, you guys didn't meet too many people that. No, I'm not for one thing or another here. I tell you what, we'll make it 8. We'll make it 9. Screw it, 10. How about that?
Wow, this is
Yeah.
getting more and more. Okay, so do we send the rando adventurers against the remaining cult leaders then, or Rathmodar? Or Severin?
I think we're getting Severin.
I think, yeah.
Well, we have 3 people left, so one of them can come with us, I guess.
Well, what about, do we want to send, I mean, the Arcane Brotherhood is going to be great. If we could, can we bring them with us?
The
Yeah.
Arcane Brotherhood is like, we're talking like a whole army of wizards. You're not going to be able to sneak a
Yeah.
whole army of wizards.
Yeah.
I'm super into that. I mean, I would love a whole army of wizards.
Ted, when have we ever snuck anywhere?
Okay, so maybe we send the Arcane Brotherhood against the remaining cult leaders. Maybe?
One thing is that don't they have like resistance to magics of that certain type?
Cult leaders?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Ella, we're making Rando Adventures 5 again because I realized the other part didn't work out. So it's 5.
Yikes, that's a big cut.
Well, I was gonna give you guys the Princess of the Apocalypse group, but they gave me a whole denouement of what they did to like not, and none of it involved fighting Tiamat.
After you gave Igni the night of her life.
Yeah.
Come on.
So you're getting.
Hey,
You are
single
getting.
again.
Okay.
What up?
So your 5 adventurers are Whistler, Mir, Farida. I'm gonna throw in Phoenix because why not?
Some deep cuts, man.
And Lux is your 5 adventurers.
What?
So you have a gold dragon in your team of 5 rando adventurers. So like,
Backstories. Okay.
and Leo's dad.
And Leo's dad, they can do
Hey,
it.
Dad, can he come with us? Guys.
He's at the council meeting. He's there.
Wait, what? You did not say that.
No, I didn't. I lied. I'm just kidding. He can't be there because he's a dragon, and someone has to give him access to Waterdeep. I forgot.
Yeah.
So he's-
Also, I would have had to roleplay a lot, so we can't just retcon that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. He can't be there because he's not allowed.
Okay, so maybe we should send the Red Wizards of Fae against Rathmodar because they're real mad at him.
Okay.
I guess we could always double up on something, but
Yeah, you definitely can. I will also point out that like your metallic dragon contingent is currently like a handful. It's not like a ton.
Oh, do they have more chromatic dragons than we have?
Oh
We
yeah.
killed so many.
Oh, so
Oh,
let's
okay.
let's go ahead and send the Arcane Brotherhood maybe to help fight the dragons.
Yeah, that sounds good. Or should we send the rando adventurers since some of them are dragons?
I think we should probably send an army of wizards to take down a bunch of dragons.
Okay, Arcane Brotherhood also 2 chromatic dragons.
Because also I'm assuming my dad is going to fight probably with the dragons, and I do not want him dying.
We can't handle that right now. This isn't a Disney movie.
Yeah,
We don't need
no,
dead
that would
parent.
be, no, that would be too much after all this shit. I need my dad alive in case Odella does those horrible things to me.
Oh
Not gonna do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you. No one here believes you.
Well, that seems to be your problem, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Okay, so Red Wizards of Thay and Rando Adventurers, where are we sending them?
I thought you said you were sending the Red Wizards to Rathmodar.
Okay,
I like that.
and then Rando Adventurers, are they coming with us?
Maybe the other cult leaders, right? Nobody has them, right?
Oh yeah, nobody
yeah,
has
the
the
cult
cult
leaders.
leaders.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to run into them on my way to go fight the
Okay,
big bad.
so Rando Adventurers are going to the remaining cult leaders, and then we'll
Okay.
deal with Severin in the temple.
Okay.
Yep.
The temple.
All right. So
Temple.
now I will tell you. 1. We have reached the point of no return in the Rise of Tiamat
This
campaign.
part scares me in video games.
This is the point of which you are now pushing forward. As I forgot to mention that the spy had told you, well, you were also informed that not only at the Well of Dragons was there a massive amount of treasure hoarded there, which some of you knew, a hoard of the Dragon Queen, if you will. Several armies of evil forces, which you've just discussed. They also inform you that hundreds of prisoners, of innocent prisoners, have been kidnapped with the purpose of sacrificing their souls to Tiamat.
Yikes.
Those souls will be used to power the magic of the portals to pull her through into this realm. Magics that the Red Wizards of Thay are enacting. They tell you that those 3 things, those prisoners have been captured already. The only thing that they believe to be left is the ritual. Oh, and the temple has been raised. So now it's basically go time, as the temple has started to make its way up, and they think, at least from their understanding, that the only thing that's between now and stopping basically this from happening is all of the prisoners' sacrifices to made to all of the blood and souls poured into these portals to pull forth the Dragon Queen. So that is where we're at.
Small thing, Ted. Did
Yeah.
I get a short rest while I was waiting for them to all come to the council meeting?
Sure.
Thank you.
So at that point, as I think where we're going to end it for this week.
Guys, we're gonna have to
Yes.
talk about spells and shit to take. I'm definitely taking Pass Without a Trace because we suck at stealth.
They are telling you that, yeah, it's go time right now to head forth, and that flying, at least for you guys, would be problematic due to the hundreds of chromatic dragons circling around the Well of Dragons as the Drakhorn is sounding constantly.
Where are my metallic dragons at? We only get the big ones?
You got a couple.
Yikes. A couple's 2, Ted. That's 2.
Well, you've got
We're
at least 4. You've got James. You've got Ilnazara, Tazmikela's
We got
sister.
Pygot.
You got Pygot, maybe. We don't know yet. Yeah. So that's it for this episode of Rise of Tiamat. We are pushing into chapter 9, the final chapter of the book, the Assault in the Well of Dragons, as our ragtag group of adventurers will be the secret strike force to try to shut down the mission before Tiamat can be pulled forth into this plane. And I've decided, Internet, I am pulling 0 punches on this final battle, and I'm playing the dice where they lie. If things don't go well, Tiamat's coming through. And
So, Internet, what he's asking for is for you to send him all of your worst D20s. All the ones that have fucked you over. And to request that he only play with those.
You guys can do that, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because, yeah, it's going to be, we're going to play the dice where they land. So, if she comes through, whether at all, or at full power or not, the adventurers are going to have to deal with possibly fighting a god.
Don't worry, I got this, guys.
So, with that being said, let's go around the horn and do the thing. Celeste, tell us about you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Celeste Konowich. Apologies again for the poor audio this time, but I'm so glad I could be here for all of this mess. Anyway, yeah, the best way to get in contact with me and see everything I'm doing is to follow me on Twitter at @ckonowich, or to check out my new website in progress, celestekonowich.com, where you can go and check out everything I write, all the streams I do, the podcasts, including Venture Maidens, which is an actual play D&D podcast that I'm sure Katie will tell you more about. I'm also the co-host for the DM's Block, or for DMnestics on the DM's Block channel. I also do a show here on Nerd Immersion that's got great audio quality, I swear. That's alternating Sundays, just depending on the schedule. You can follow us on Twitter at Mistress of Mods to check it out. So we are going to be back this Sunday with Ted is going to be actually joining us for something here. We are going to be doing a module called Invasion of the Tarrasques, which is a crazy epic level 20 game that's going to be insane. Also a huge skill battle for Waterdeep. So come and check that out. But again, yeah, just follow me on Twitter at @ckonowich, and I give you all the updates, I promise.
All right, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. You can find me here every Monday playing Roswen. You can also find me every other Wednesday. It's going to be next Wednesday. Right? Yep, I know these things.
That's good.
I'm going to be playing Tiefling Divine Soul Sorcerer. It's really cool homebrew setting that Celeste and Alla made. And Brittany should be back this time. So that's exciting. We'll all be there. You can also find me at lazy_mermaiden on Twitter. And soon I will be opening my Etsy store, probably beginning of next month or end of this month, depending on when I get my first stock of pins in, which I'm really excited for.
Very cool. Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm the most boring of everybody, but not on this stream. Find me on Twitter at Win in Rome, and see me here every Monday.
All right. Renee?
Hi, I'm Renee Rhodes, and Laura is never boring, and I am on Twitter at RayDNR, and I do a family-friendly D&D podcast called Fate and the Fable Maidens, which you can find at Fate FM Cast across social media or at fatefmcast.com. I am also working on pre-production for an audio drama called Eden Fallcast, which you can find at Eden Fallcast across social media. So that's really exciting and coming 2019. And I'm here on Mondays playing Rise of Tiamat, and we've reached the point of no return. That's not terrifying. Wednesdays, you can find me over on Scraticus Academy, and I'm there for a lot of hours on Wednesdays. So that's it for me, I think. I'm nervous. This is just a big deal, you know, this point that we've reached. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Love y'all.
Yeah. And I am Ted. This is Nerd Immersion. I will be back tomorrow, I think. So Sean and Selena are on a cruise because Sean graduated college for like the 4th time on his second advanced degree. So they're gone. Pat will definitely be here. Jake just had a baby, so he may be here. But Sean's character died, so I don't really know what's going on. So we'll see. Something's gonna happen tomorrow. So that's that. Again, I'll be on Celeste's show on Sunday. And we do have, again, I keep saying soft launch of the second channel, which is in the process of being fully rolled out, which is going to be the house for all of the gameplay videos, which is Nerd Immersion Plays, which I really need to work on getting that all fully rolled out. But you can check out some cool videos on the main channel coming out in the next few days. Coverage of the Acquisitions Incorporated book when it comes out, as well as a giveaway coming probably tomorrow that'll run for a few weeks to give away copies of that book. So if you've hung out and used your Twitch Prime subscription to get you extra entries for the Ghost of Saltmarsh giveaway, might want to hang on to that, because you roll that right into the giveaway coming up here for Acquisitions Inc., which I'm also very excited about. So, guys, 30 episodes in for like a 78-page book. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Nope, I'm not. It is a total from front to back 94 pages, this book. Not including the first 20, which is background information, and the last half, which is monsters. So really like a 60-page book. We're at 30 episodes, and we're just getting towards the end. But again, as I've said, just because the book's over doesn't mean the Belladonnas are done. So we'll be here for a little while. So come and enjoy the trauma and drama as we continue on through this crazy adventure. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.